Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys, peep game. All right, so I wanted to talk about this because, like I said, I like to do different things. And sometimes, I guess you could say it's a late reaction video, possibly. But I don't want to play no footage. And it's also a comparison video. And basically, what I'm trying to talk about is like, look, after what happened with Cardi B and Tasha K, I think people gonna have to understand it's just certain things you can't say about people without proof. And now, based off what happened with Cardi B and Tasha K, this is gonna open up the floodgates for people to start coming after you. But I want to talk about the situation that happened with Corey Holcomb and Rick Ross. Now, I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but I'll speculate, guesstimate what happened, possibly. And I'll say this once again, don't have any proof. It's just something that it's just speculation. And I have the right to say speculate. So I don't know if it's true. But apparently, Corey Holcomb got at Rick Ross for what he did when he came on Young DC Fly's podcast. Young DC Fly, very talented comedian, rapper, actor. I mean, he does it all, you know. But he's more known for, you know, being an actor. But actually, he do got some decent skills on the mic. You know, he's from the ATL. Now, apparently, Rick Ross made an appearance on the show. And abruptly, Rick Ross, and I saw the footage, he says, hey, I'm going to the bathroom. He goes to the bathroom and he never returns. And then DC Fly and his crew is looking like, hey, where he at? And then somebody tells him, hey, he left. So he just abruptly left. Now, that wasn't cool to do to somebody. You doing an interview, you on their show, and you just leave. Don't say you got to leave, and you in the middle of a show. And he did Young DC Fly dirty. You cannot get around that. But Corey Holcomb speaks on the situation. You know, he speaks on the situation. And basically, he said, well, the reason why Rick Ross left the show because there wasn't any gay men on the show and that all the men on the show were heterosexuals. So basically, he made a reference questioning Rick Ross' sexuality. And then he doesn't stop there. He say, oh, man, I heard what happened in the limousine. Now, Corey Holcomb then comes back a few weeks later. He tries to backtrack and say, hey, man, I'm a comedian. We make jokes like that. Now, this isn't the first time Corey Holcomb has accused somebody of being, you know, being gay. For some reason, he attacked Kevin Samuels. And he made some, you know, explicit remarks about Kevin Samuels. Now, Kevin Samuels just said, hey, I'm going to give him a pass. I'm not even going to respond. But when he spoke on the Rick Ross thing, he was saying, hey, I'm a comedian. You know, I tell jokes for a living. That's what I do. Now, you know, that's a comedian's go-to move when they say something that they don't have no business saying. And then they try to play, you know, the, oh, dude need to learn how to take a joke. Well, sometimes when you say stuff, you have to take accountability for it. You just can't go around saying that kind of shit about people and thinking that people are not going to get pissed off at you. Now, I don't know if Rick Ross sent Corey Holcomb a letter, because Rick Ross will take you to court too. Rick Ross will take you to court too. So I don't know if he got a letter from Rick Ross' legal team or whatever, but he did try to backtrack. And one of the things that I don't like is comedians, they do that kind of stuff. They try to play the comedy card and try to say people need to take a joke. No, we don't have to take a joke if we didn't ask you to make a joke about us. It's a time and place for everything. How was that a joke when you insinuating that a man, you know what I'm saying, is a homosexual? Didn't seem like it was a joke to me. Seemed like you was ripping him. What I'm saying is, Corey Holcomb need to be careful saying that kind of stuff. I know he from Chicago. I understand all that. I'm pretty sure he got, you know, niggas on the team that's ready to ride for him. But at the end of the day, what happens if you get served with a lawsuit? And then at the end of the day, we don't know who rolls with Rick Ross. So at the end of the day, that could lead to stuff jumping off. So something obviously probably happened behind the scenes. One thing is, you can't just go around like spreading rumors about people without no factual proof. Because like I say, now this thing with Cardi B now and Tasha K, this didn't open up the floodgates, because you're going to see more of this happening. So this is why you got to be careful what you say about people. You better start, you got to say the words allegedly, word on the street. You don't know how true this is. This is just something you heard, and saying that you're doing more research. Because if you flat out say this is true and it isn't, you didn't slander the person's name, and you could be held liable for a defamation of character in a slander suit. And then they can throw in mental stress. I mean, they threw the book at Tasha K, which kind of makes you throw up a big question mark when it comes to the amount of money that she was rewarded. And due to the fact who it came from a YouTuber. So you kind of got to wonder, was something behind that. That's all I'm saying. You got to wonder, was something behind it. Just speculating. But I just wanted to say that about Corey Holcomb, because I am a fan of Corey Holcomb's work. But what I'm saying is, you can't be just going around saying shit about people, especially if you don't know whether or not it's true. Because I'm sending this message out for new content creators. Now, like I said, they're not going to come after the people like me who have a small, you know, subscribe-based channel. But those people that got 1 million and more than that, they're going to start coming after them. And that's just real talk. And Corey Holcomb should know better based off what happened, you know, years ago with Zoe and Ari Spears. Keep in mind, Ari Spears sued him. Okay? He sued him for that. So I'm just saying, Corey Holcomb, he need to be careful. And comedians can't always holler that, oh, it was just a joke, and people need to stop being so sensitive. You know, a lot of times when people use that, to me, that's just weak sauce to avoid accountability for saying something that you know you didn't have no business saying. You know, there's a difference between being sensitive and then being disrespectful. And that's been the new thing that people try to pull on you when they think they can disrespect you and then think you're not supposed to say something. They've all done that for blacks and to blacks for the last 500 years, telling us that we need to forgive, we need to move on, you know, all that kind of stuff. We've been the floodgates for being disrespected on a regular basis. And they use these goofy terminologies like get out of your feelings and all that kind of stuff. That's internet talk. That's how punks talk. That's the, I mean, that's troll talk. That's what, you know, cowards use that type of terminology. You know, because they know they wouldn't say it to your face. Like I said, the internet has made people real tough until you actually see them, until you cross paths. But that's just the point that I was trying to make with Corey Holcomb. He needs to be careful saying that kind of stuff about people. Don't just sit up there and say stuff about people and then you're not sure, and then you try to hide behind the fact that you tell jokes for a living. There isn't no such thing as a comedic rule where you're exempt, you know what I'm saying, from facing responsibility and accountability when you say stuff about somebody that isn't true. That's just real talk. I just needed to put that out there. But anyway, it's your boy Town Biz. Thanks for tuning in. I'm out.